It's Friday night, which means it's time for the blue brand to take stage. Welcome, everybody, to Friday Night SmackDown.
Is a tag team match set for one fall, and is for the WWE Tag Team Championship.
Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting off tonight's show in a big way. The tag titles are on the line to begin tonight's show. And we'll start off with the champions, at least one half of that team. Welcome, everybody, to Friday Night SmackDown live here in Fort Worth, Texas. I hope you guys are excited for this one. If you've enjoyed the first two episodes thus far, make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more Universe Mode content here on the channel. The support has been amazing this week, and I'm excited to keep this going. But there is one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, Damian Priest, the Punisher, makes his way to the ring first. In a stacked show tonight, this is one of two championship matches, and of course, we'll hear the status of the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, according to General Manager Nick Aldis later tonight. But first, we have to put that gold right there on the line. Damian Priest and R-Truth, the unlikely team that has come together to win that title just over a month ago. And I don't know about Truth. Priest looks ready to defend his title. Also, after watching Monday Night Raw and Tuesday NXT, please let me know in the comment section below what you guys think thus far. Is there anything you want to see changed, or if there's anything that you think needs to be tweaked a little bit? Obviously, we're still in the first week of this series, so got some kinks to maybe look out for and to fix, and I would like to have your guys' help in doing that. Damian Priest definitely looks ready to go as he awaits the arrival of his tag team partner. R-Truth, the other half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, is ready to make his way to the ring.
Competition, make him disappear like your favorite magician. I ride until the wheel fall off. I bounce back to back till the next gets solved. Most of the time you see me, I'm just being simple. Different times I'll be busting them up like a pimple. Making my claim to fame to be the most must-see OG swing in the game. Haven't even started yet. You can better believe I take it off for show shop bet. What's up? What's up? What's up? Everybody, here we go. People over there, what's up? The feel me, stand up and say what's up. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You can get with this, or you can get with that. You better get with this. This is where it's at. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up, everybody? Thank you, R-Truth, for that little mini concert. But now he's got to get ready to defend that title as we await the challengers about to make their way to the ring. It's time for my family tree. There they are, led by Solo Sikoa MFT, the former champions, who are going to get a chance tonight to regain the gold. You can see all five of them making their way to the ring, but only two of them have the paint on tonight. It's Tala Tonga and Tongaloa, and they will be the two that are about to make their way and compete for those titles. Of course, you got to watch out, though, for Tala Tonga, JC Mateo, and the leader, Solo Sikoa. It will be the team of Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, the chance to regain tag team gold. Solo feels confident in his boys, the Tongans. 2/3 of that group at least. They look ready. The champions seemed ready earlier, so let's put the gold on the line. This is what we're all about here on Friday Night SmackDown, where the best wrestle. Let's head down to the ring for championship introductions.
Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 450 pounds, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa NXT. And their opponents at a combined weight of 469 pounds, the team of Damian Priest and R-Truth.
So both teams have been introduced, which means we're about ready to make this one official. That's what this one is all about. The WWE Tag Team Championships here on Friday Night SmackDown. Damian Priest will start for his team, while it will be Tama Tonga for his. And let's kick off SmackDown with the championship match. We're here live in Fort Worth, Texas for this tag team affair. The former champions taking on the current team of Priest and Truth with the titles, who won that title just over a month ago. And here they are making successful, or will they make successful title defense number 1. You got a team on both sides of the occasion here. You have the Tongans, who have been a tag team for almost essentially their entire lives. They have well known each other, very much in tune, part of a group together. They know what each other are like. Well, on the other time, you got Damian Priest and R-Truth haven't always seen eye to eye. If you remember back to the days of the Judgment Day, Priest despised R-Truth. Well, it seems like they put those differences aside and they've allowed themselves to capture tag team gold. Also interesting is that in this rematch, it's not the team they beat. They beat Jason Mateo and Tama Tonga for those tag titles. Well, tonight, Tonga Loa will step back into the fray and look to defend for, or retain, or regain. And there's a nice power slam from Tonga Loa right there. Well, other things to look out for tonight on SmackDown. General Manager Nick Aldis will have an update on Cody Rhodes' status following the post-match attack on WrestleMania Saturday. And the Women's United States Championship will also be on the line. Julia will put that title on the line against the #1 contender, Tiffany Stratton, in our main event. So, action-packed night of SmackDown. I'm sure we'll see a lot of other big-time occasions here on tonight's show. We have the tag titles on the line in our first matchup. Right now, it is the Tongans of my family tree, who are in firm control of this contest, isolating R-Truth in their own corner with a nice double back suplex. And down goes the Rapper. Well, despite the fact he's getting beat up on right now, you got to give it to R-Truth, man, as he sidesteps Tama Tonga there. That's actually what I was getting ready to highlight from R-Truth. This man is 54 years old. Yes, 54 is how old R-Truth is. That is insane. If you look at his physical condition, what he's been able to accomplish, is right now he's got to kick out of this pinfall here, and on a 2 count he will. But you got to give it up to R-Truth, still kicking. Not many people can say they are in top form physical shape at the age of 54. R-Truth back to his feet, trying to get his team back into this one. And nice job there. Plants Tama Tonga, and that will allow him to create the space and make the tag to the Punisher, Damian Martinez, who hits a beautiful clothesline there on Tama Tonga. And here comes the heavy hitter, the former World Heavyweight Champion, with a nice scoop power slam there. And just like that, the Tongans on the back foot, but Tama able to create some separation. Nice forearm smash across the jaw of one half of the champs. The Priest back to his feet, has a hold of him here, and just hits a nice Falcon Arrow. Goes for the cover here, trying to retain the tag team titles, and he kick out a 1 from Tama Tonga. Good job there by Priest to not allow the tag to be made, and then against the ropes they go. Nice kick there, that karate-style background of Priest. This time he ducks under once more, and just sends Tama Tonga flying into the air. Damian Priest, a very tall individual. It's a long way to crash down, but unfortunately for Priest, it did happen right in the corner of the Tongans, so that allowed the tag to be made as Tonga Loa in. Hold on a second, he's got his feet on the ropes. Ref, you got to keep your eyes open. Trying to cheat themselves a victory, but Priest quickly powers out, but gets met with a nice power slam anyway from Tonga Loa, the infamous Tonga Loa. A lot of people say the man who has infinite aura of my family tree. Right here he is ragdolling Priest in his own corner. Makes a tag to his partner. And again, they're going to try to set up for this back suplex off the top turnbuckle. Priest in a precarious position, and again, showing that tag team prowess. Priest able to fight back and see Mateo on the apron. Now the distraction allows Tama Tonga to get involved. This is what happens when you have 3 people at ringside. You're going to be dealing with somebody, especially when you're on that side of the ring, as that distraction from Tama Tonga has allowed a back suplex to be hit. And Priest just rolls to the outside, trying to create any sort of separation here. But it allows Tonga Loa to drive him head first into the area on the outside. Priest could be in a lot of trouble here. He could be out on his feet. That was a devastating move on the outside. And Tonga Loa could be moments away from winning the tag titles, but R-Truth there to save his partner. That opening has allowed Priest to get back to his feet. Here he comes. Couple of strikes from the Punisher and a nice discus elbow, and that is the space needed to allow R-Truth to re-enter this matchup. Priest makes a big tag, a much-needed tag. The Truth's met by the challengers. And nice Bulldog counter there by Truth. The Charlotte native has the fans in Fort Worth, Texas cheering behind him as he gets a 1 count on Tonga Loa. This match rolls on. Sends Loa to the outside on the ring apron. And sends him back flying into the ring. R-Truth feeling himself doing a little dance in the corner. Now going to head to the top rope at 54 years old. It's a flying elbow drop. And down goes Loa. Going for the pin here. This to retain, but this time it's Tama Tonga who flies across the ring to break it up. And R-Truth's not going to take that lightly. He drives his shoulder right into the gut. And now we'll do a little dance, but be careful, Truth. Loa back to his feet from behind. Surprises R-Truth. Shot to the midsection. Sends him against the ropes. Ducks under himself. And there's a hip toss by Loa. That has allowed R-Truth to be at a disadvantage as this match rolls on. Loa makes a tag to Tama Tonga, but R-Truth fires back to his feet. Misses a pump kick there. Tonga with a small cradle inside, has the shoulders down on R-Truth, gets 2, and gets 3, and that will do it. The Tongans steal the tag team victory, pinning R-Truth to the mat, get with an inside cradle, and Truth was unable to kick out, and just like that, we have new tag team champions. So once more, there is gold in the hands of the family tree. Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa are now your champions. Solo Sikoa and company get to celebrate their win. Well, back in the ring, R-Truth back to his feet, trying to realize what just happened. As Priest there to tell his partner it's okay. And, Priest goes low! Kicks his tag team partner below the belt. Damian Priest, what are you doing? R-Truth now gets met with a hand on the neck, and it's a south ahead of chokeslam. Damian Priest, what are we doing here? Turning on his partner, showing his true colors, showing that he never liked R-Truth. And now the former tag team champions seem like they're no more. Oh, come on now. Now we have this goofball in the ring. Pat McAfee, he was supposed to be banned after Randy Orton lost at WrestleMania. What does this idiot have to say? From behind an RKO out of nowhere, Randy Orton lays out Pat McAfee with an RKO. And now Orton, he is listening to those voices after all. A punt kick to Pat. Oh, McAfee, I'm not sure if I would have ran your mouth. Well, Orton has laid out Pat with a punt kick. Someone might need to get a stretcher. So we had to stretch Pat McAfee out of the building. Not sure if we'll see him again for a while, but the show has to get going. It's time for our next matchup. As here's a man who makes his way to the ring, now known as the former United States Champion.
Making his way to the ring from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 212 pounds,
Sami Zayn, unfortunately for him, lost his United States Championship at WrestleMania and now has to go and wrestle here tonight. It's been a very interesting stretch for Sami Zayn as he has found himself on the side of a lot of boos. I mean, here they are in Fort Worth, Texas, singing his song, but Sami Zayn has, in my opinion, not made himself the most well-liked individual in recent weeks, and now that he's lost the United States Championship, it'll be very interesting to see what the attitude of Sami Zayn is like. But might find out in just a couple moments, because the underdog from the underground has a matchup set against the man that he is pretty familiar with here on the Blue brand. Zayn not showing any signs of disappointment right now on his face. He seems locked in and ready to go. That's how it is. You're on the post-WrestleMania edition of Friday Night SmackDown. You cannot look in the rearview mirror. It's all eyes forward. And right now his eyes are set for his opponent here tonight. That man is Ilya Dragunov, another former United States champion. And this one should be an absolute barn burner. As the Mad Russian has made his way into Fort Worth, Texas. And he looks ready to go.
and his opponent from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 210 pounds, Ilya Dragunov.
Dragunov returns from an injury towards the end of last year, and he wasted no time in capturing the United States Championship. Went on a nice little run of open challenges before he succumbed to that very ferocious schedule. But Dragunov has had his eyes set on the United States Championship ever since that moment. And he's got a chance here tonight to beat once more the man that he defeated to win that United States Championship in Sami Zayn. Dragunov looks ready to go. This one should be a pretty hard-hitting and pretty fast-forward encounter. Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov into our next contest. We'll have to see if we can get an update on Pat McAfee after his punt kick he just suffered. But it's time for this matchup. Sami Zayn versus Ilya Dragunov. And here we go as the bell is sounded and we are underway. And it's going to be Dragunov who gets the first moment, lifting Zayn up over his head, showing off that power that is on display from the Mad Russian. Dragunov, another former United States champion, like I mentioned, beat Sami Zayn for that championship back in October of last year after coming back from a torn ACL. And he went on quite the title defense streak. Aleister Black, Nathan Frazier, Johnny Gargano, Axiom, JD McDonough, Carmelo Hayes, Tommaso Ciampa. A lot of names before he finally lost it to the aforementioned Hayes. That's 63 days. And since then, he's been on his mind to try to gain that title back. He's trying to take one step in that direction by beating the former United States champion Sami Zayn, who's fresh off losing that title at WrestleMania to Trick Williams. So congratulations to Trick, our new United States champion. I'm sure we'll see him in the coming weeks over here on the Blue Brand. But he's probably watching this matchup pretty closely because these are two men right in the mix for that Star Spangled Prize. You would think a win tonight for either of these competitors will put your name on the short list for a future United States Championship opportunity. Right now, Zayn in the ring, trying to get a count-out victory as he'll head to the outside. He wasted a little bit too much time, though, as Ilya there to meet him, and he hits a nice snaps German suplex on the outside. Sami back to his feet, fire back with a strike in his zone, and sends Dragunov into the LED board. And maybe isn't done here, and plants him on the ringside barrier, and a nice kick to the mush for good measure. Like I was mentioning during his entrance, Sami Zayn has not found himself in the good graces of the WWE Universe recently. I think they think he's kind of full of himself. And honestly, I might agree with them. It's been a little bit of a different Sami we've seen in recent weeks. And now that he's lost the United States Championship, we'll have to see how he reacts even more in this part of his career. He's dragging off back Sami across the ring into the ropes. What does the Russian have in store here? Just going to tangle him up in the ropes. Ilya Dragunov, a very accomplished competitor, an absolute magician. As there's a nice snap German suplex, holds the bridge, gets two before Sami Zayn's able to pop the shoulders up. But we do have an update on the condition of Pat McAfee. It seems like he suffered a concussion thanks to the punt kick from Randy Orton. And also a broken orbital bone, just like we saw from Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania after a punt kick, that is. So not sure when we'll see Pat McAfee again, if ever, if he lives up to the stipulation that was before the match. I mean, Randy Orton lost in that main event. Just hold on for a second. We got a cover here from Sami trying to put away Dragunov, but can't even get a 1 count. But if you remember the stipulation in that main event match on WrestleMania Saturday, if Orton lost, McAfee was banned from WWE. Well, he tried to wiggle his way into another opportunity here in WWE, but actually, ironically enough, it was Randy Orton who seems to have shut up Pat McAfee for good. Back into the action here. Sami Zayn firm control of this contest, raining down some right hands on Dragunov, as it seems like the Canada native has put himself in control, and this time only able to get a 1 count on Ilya. Mad Russian has quite a heart on him, as it takes a lot of effort to put away Dragunov. Here's a nice Northern Light suplex from Zayn, but maybe referee a little slow to get into position there. It's been all Sami in the recent moments. Shot there to the spine of Dragunov. A sharp right hand as well. Another one for good measure. Bounces off the ropes, a couple more strikes. Dragunov fires back with one of his own. He's going to springboard with a drop kick. A beautiful transition there by Ilya. Catches Sami off guard, and now it's Dragunov who has the upper hand. A nice shot to the back as well. Very stiff shots. Dragunov hits hard despite his frame. He is one of the strongest competitors here, pound for pound on the SmackDown roster. And right here has a hold of Sami, who's going to quickly and wisely maneuver his way out of this submission attempt. Dragunov now with a hand to the beard of Sami, and just a couple overhand slaps. And now Dragunov more strikes his own, backs up, goes for that huge uppercut. Sami sidesteps, dodges disaster there. And half and half's nice suplex there from Sami. Opens up the door for him to try another cover here on Dragunov, and he will just only get a 1 count this time. It's been a hot start to the show. We've already seen new tag team champions. Titles go back to the MFTs. Then afterwards, Damian Priest turning on his partner, R-Truth. We'll have to see what the update is for them in the next couple of weeks. And then, of course, Pat McAfee just got concussed thanks to the Viper. Now we have this contest, and even more up on the docket. Main event, Women's United States Championship on the line. Julia versus Tiffany Stratton. We'll hear from Nick Aldis on the condition of Cody Rhodes is not here tonight, as there's a nice discus forearm from Ilya, and he seems fired up. Sammy could be in a lot of trouble here. Dragunov kick to the midsection, going to try to hit that elbow, and there he is, just drops the elbow right across the jaw of Sammy, who's in a lot of trouble here. Dragunov trying to put him away here, gets one, gets two, but a kick out by Sammy at 2. Sammy also has a lot of heart and has a lot of resiliency. We've seen that in the past. Now he just rolls to the outside, trying to buy some separation, but Dragunov quickly there, try to follow up. Sammy now trying to get back into this contest. What's he doing here on the ringside barricade? Sets something up here with the standing moonsault. Might have caught a little bit of the apron on the way down. That looked like a pretty nasty landing from Zayn. But hey, try to get back in the contest. Might as well throw a Hail Mary, and it seems like it's worked for Zayn. All of a sudden, he finds himself right in the driver's seat. Goes for a pinfall here on Dragunov. Gets only a 1 count again. Ilya is not a guy who's going to allow you to get a 2 count on him if he can have a say about it. Zayn whips Dragunov into the far turnbuckle. Nice right-hand shot. Another one for good measure. It's been a very hard-hitting encounter. And a couple more for good measure. Dragunov just being wailed upon in the corner. I mean, this is the aggressive side of Sammy we've seen recently, as there's a corner basement dropkick. Showing a little bit more aggression in the last couple of weeks. As Zayn goes for a cover here on Dragunov. Only gets 2 counts. That might be the first 2 counts of the contest. As Dragunov could be on some shaky legs. As there's a Blue Thunder Bomb from Sammy. Blue Thunder Bomb connects Dragunov here on the back foot. Zayn gets him back to his feet. Whips him into the far turnbuckle. And this could be trouble because there's the Haluva kick. A Haluva kick knocks down Ilya. Sammy to get the victory off of the Haluva kick. It gets 1, gets 2, but Dragunov shoots the left shoulder up, as I don't know what's going on with the battery life of that controller. Not sure what this is talking about, a controller? No, this is the WWE. But back to the action, Haluva kick from Sami Zayn. I mean, we've seen that move put away countless superstars in the past. Both of these competitors have taken the best shot of the other opponent and are still standing as Dragunov tries to stack up Zayn, who flips it over. Shoulders down for Ilya. Precarious position. Gets 2 before he's able to kick out. What a match here we have in Dragunov and Sammy. We knew it was going to be a barn burner. They have not disappointed. Nice snap suplex there from Sami Zayn. And Dragunov could be in a lot of trouble here. Gets him back to his feet. And Zayn having the store now. A couple of combination. Fisherman. Thinking Fisherman suplex. And he connects. Holds the bridge as well. Dragunov in a lot of trouble here too. And gets the shoulder up at 2.5. And now Dragunov fired himself up. Where's this come from out of nowhere? This is that second gear that Ilya can tap into. He just pushes Sammy into the corner. And this is not where you want to be if you're Zayn. In a seated position. Oh my gosh, what does Dragunov have here? He's thinking turnbuckle. That's all the way across the ring. I don't know if Dragunov, do you have the range to get there? And he does! Goes coast to coast on Sami Zayn. Boots right to the face. Connects on the button. And now Zayn in a lot of trouble. Having to use the turnbuckle to pull himself up. Double knees to the spine. And Dragunov could be lining Sami Zayn up again. Trying to go for that kill shot one more time. As he hits the rope, Zayn in a lot of trouble. There's that whiplash clothesline, knocks down Sammy. That's right where Dragunov wants him. Trying to get the crowd behind him here in Fort Worth, Texas. Gets Sammy back to his feet. Nice suplex there, Uranagi. And Dragunov again heads back to the corner. This time going to go for the running start. He has Zayn in his sights, and this time it's the jumping elbow. Connects on the button. Zayn could be out for good. And Dragunov will get the victory. 1, 2, 3 in a classic of an encounter here on SmackDown. What a match we just witnessed between these two competitors. But it was Ilya Dragunov who was able to get the victory over the former United States champion. A pretty hard-hitting clash as both superstars took the best shot from the other. It was Dragunov who was able to connect one more time and put away Sami Zayn. Now I have to think Ilya could put himself right in line for a future United States Championship opportunity. Obviously, Zayn would like another crack of the gold, but you can't put it past Ilya here as well. There's the kill shot that put Sami Zayn down for good.
Here is your winner, Ilya Dragunov.
Well, big win here tonight for Ilya, as he has some momentum in the post-WrestleMania edition of Friday Night SmackDown. Our next pay-per-view will be Backlash. We'll be figured out on Monday Night Raw. We know one of the matches, Roman Reigns will put the World Heavyweight Championship on the line against Gunther. We have to start to fill up the matches, though, here on the SmackDown side of things. And here's a lady who could be in action at Backlash. The new WWE Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, who now finds herself here on Friday nights, as on WrestleMania Sunday, she knocked off Jade Cargill to once again claim herself on top of the mountain. As Rhea Ripley finds herself here on Friday nights. It was a pretty hard-hitting clash, but it was the Nightmare who was able to walk away victorious. And for the 4th time in her career, Rhea Ripley is world champion. Be interesting to see what has in store here on Friday nights for Ripley. This is new territory for her. She has not been the queen pin on the blue brand. And I'd love to see a lot of matchups that could come to the table now that Ripley has herself on Friday nights. We saw Io Sky on Monday Night Raw wish Ripley good luck on her new home, as Rio has to unfortunately go their separate ways. The Nightmare again heads back to the singles division. Capitalized after winning Elimination Chamber back in February with the opportunity at WrestleMania to take out Jade Cargill. And she did just that. Rhea Ripley wants to celebrate here tonight. She wants to say a couple things to the WWE Universe. And maybe we'll get some insight as to what's next for the new WWE Women's Champion. Well, here comes the former WWE Women's Champion. Jade Cargill is making her way to the ring, and it looks like she has something she wants to respond that Rhea Ripley said. Now, I want to say congratulations, Rhea, and her accomplishment at WrestleMania, not only winning the championship, but overcoming just all the anxiety and stuff leading up to that event. It was such a big-time match, and I'm glad that Rhea is feeling better. But now that she's at the top of the mountain, challengers are going to start lining up, and that includes the former women's champion, Jade Cargill, who was a dominant champion of that, and she has something she wants to respond to with Rhea Ripley. So the match is made official just like that at Backlash. It'll be Rhea Ripley putting the WWE Women's Championship on the line in her first defense against the former champion Jade Cargill. But back to the arena. It's time for our next matchup as Johnny Gargano makes his way to the ring. A man who's been, well, very depressed to say the very least in recent weeks. He's lost his best friend and, well, he doesn't know what to do with himself. To be honest, I'm surprised he's standing up right now. But, nonetheless, he has a matchup up next as we continue on with Friday Night SmackDown. Oh, heck yeah! This is a surprise! It's the newest superstar on Friday nights. Ethan Page is here in Fort Worth, Texas. Well, that's a quick turnaround. Ethan Page finds himself on the blue brand. If you're not familiar with the Canada native, I go ahead and recommend you check out his work down there in NXT. This man is a former NXT champion, a former North American champion in just a short amount of time down there. Regardless of what you think of his attitude and his self-professed ego, you cannot deny the talents this man brings to the table. And he's here on Friday nights. Ethan Page in the house. And he looks ready for his first matchup. A warm welcome here from the Fort Worth crowd. Happy to see a new superstar on the blue brand. He'll have quite the test in his first match as a member of the roster. It's Johnny Gargano versus Ethan Page in our first match on the debut of Ethan Page's SmackDown debut, I should say, as we're underway, and just like that, Page goes right across the ring and puts a boot right into the mush of Johnny Gargano. Now puts him back horizontal, where Johnny Wrestling has spent a lot of time in recent weeks. Well, Ethan Page, like I mentioned earlier, former NXT champion. Now, the reason he is no longer in NXT, if you missed out this past Tuesday, Ethan Page put it all on the line in the main event with one more chance at the NXT Championship on the line versus the new champ, Tony D'Angelo. And he lost that night. Hold on a second, a submission here. Johnny Wrestling trying to spoil the debut of Ethan Page, who's all tied up right now. But Page able to fight out of it and gets out of the submission hold. But because of his loss in the main event on Tuesday night, Ethan Page is no longer allowed in NXT. And, well, it didn't take him long to find his new home. Here he is on Friday Night SmackDown, as that's a beautiful release German on Johnny Gargano. Now goes for the cover here on Johnny Wrestling, and we'll get to the first cover attempt of the match. Well, like I said, if you look at the back of his tights, he'll let you know that he is all ego. This man thinks very highly of himself. And right now, though, he's putting his head right into the canvas. Beautiful springboard DDT by Johnny Wrestling, who seems to have the upper hand. Despite Gargano's attitude in recent weeks, you can't sleep on this man. He's also a former NXT champion, an NXT Triple Crown winner at that. The heart and soul at one point of that brand. Gargano also had a match at NXT Stand and Deliver. He was unsuccessful in reclaiming the North American Championship from Miles Bourne. If you're not familiar with anybody on Tuesday nights, I recommend you stay tuned and watch the premieres of NXT when they happen if you want to get caught up with all the action inside the WWE Universe. We'll have Raw, SmackDown, and NXT's week in, week out. And if you guys want to see more, if you want to see some AAA, maybe a little bit of Evolve from here and then, please let me know down in the comments section. I'm here to bring in the deepest and most realistic universe mode to you guys. And if that means more WWE content, then that's what we will have at the table. Back to the ringside action. Gargano was off to a hard start, but on the outside, Page had quickly turned the tables in that one. Now putting the pressure on Gargano. Candice trying to distract the referee on the outside. That's Johnny Gargano's wife. There's a thumb to the eye by Gargano. Ref will let the match play out. And a poison rana from Johnny. That definitely turns the tides. And now Paige down in the corner. A 2 count before Ethan able to shoot the right shoulder up. So that little bit of an underhanded tactic, able to give Johnny Wrestling the upper hand here. Paige fires back with the back elbow. Trying to get himself out of the corner here. Kick to the midsection and a clubbing shot across the back. Takes Gargano down to a knee. Paige gets him back up and plants a knee right into the gut. But Johnny quickly back to his feet. They meet in the center of the ring. And punches. Traded. More strikes. Reversal after reversal. Now Paige with the combination. He rakes the eyes of himself. Ethan Page not afraid to bend the rulebook in his own might. Putting that thumb to the eye. But hey, I guess Johnny threw it first. So to each their own, as there's a beautiful roundhouse kick. So you see Candice back on the apron again, trying to distract the referee. But that's not going to distract Ethan Page from hitting this pop-up power slam. Takes Gargano down. And Page egging on. Wants Johnny to bring the fight. This is maybe that ego getting the best of him. As Johnny does bring it with the DDT. Now goes for the pinfall here. Try to put away Page, but he only gets 2. Yeah, Ethan Page and his all ego can sometimes get the best of him. Maybe we're seeing that right now play out with Johnny Gargano. Could be lining up Page here to put him away. But Ethan dodges the strike. Kick to the midsection of his own right. And there's a twisted grin. Out of nowhere, twisted grin from Ethan Page. And that move will usually put his opponents down for 3. Ethan Page victorious in his SmackDown debut. Solid outing here for All Ego. Quickly trying to put his foothold here on Friday nights. Wasn't easy though. Gargano brought it to clear that double foot stomp all the way to the outside, but Page able to claim the victory. Here's that beautiful pop-up power slam slingshot across, and then later put him away. Dodges the strike of Gargano, kick to the midsection, and his twisted grin. And Ethan Page now 1-0 on Friday nights. Page gets to celebrate his victory. Your winner here tonight in Fort Worth, Texas. Gargano down. Page leaves the ring. And no. Ethan Page having second thoughts and wants to send a message. It didn't take long for the true Ethan Page to come out. Well, back to the ring now. Nick Aldis, our SmackDown General Manager, heads to the ring, and he's got a big update on the condition of WWE Champion Cody Rhodes. Let's see what all this has to say. Well, hold on a second, Nick. Here comes the Samoan werewolf. I'm not sure you want to be in the ring when this man is in the house. Because who knows what Jacob Fatu is going to bring to the table. But how about that update from Nick Aldis? A concussion and a broken orbital bone suffered by Cody Rhodes at the hands of Randy Orton in the main event of WrestleMania Saturday. And if Cody Rhodes isn't eligible to go at Backlash, he'll be forced to vacate the WWE Championship. But Jacob Fatu now makes his way to the ring. It looks like he might have something to say in regards to what Nick Aldis just said, in the form of finding a #1 contender. It's Fatu at WrestleMania. on WrestleMania Saturday, knocked off Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match in a pretty physical battle. And well, Jacob Fatu might have something else now that he's put McIntyre behind him. Well, Jacob Fatu's words might have drawn the ire of an old rival. Drew McIntyre now makes his way to the ring. The Scottish Warrior never has anything nice to say. He's always in a bad mood, and I can imagine after what happened at WrestleMania, he is more ticked off than ever. But it's very interesting to see what McIntyre has to say. He is a former WWE Champion. He is the last man to hold that title before Cody. But he was beat at WrestleMania by Jacob Fatu. If this man wants another shot at the WWE Championship, it'll be very interesting to see what his claim to that is. Well, it seems like General Manager Nick Aldis likes what he hears. And next week, it'll be Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu in a #1 contenders match for the WWE Championship. High stakes next week.
The following is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Women's United States Championship.
Well, before we get to next week, we saw the main event to get through here on Friday Night SmackDown is for the Women's United States Championship. And making her way to the ring first is the challenger, Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany earned this opportunity last week. Tiffany off. Tiffany gained this opportunity last week when she beat Jordan Grace in a #1 contenders match for the United States Championship. Now here in Fort Worth, Texas, she gets the opportunity in the main event on the SmackDown after WrestleMania. What a night it's been. It's been a very chaotic, very exciting night of action. And we still have this main event to get through. Tiffany Stratton, all the photography looks ready. But is she ready for the beautiful madness? Flanked by her friend Kiana James, here comes the United States Champion. It's Julia who makes her way to the ring. Ever since coming over to SmackDown almost a year ago, it's been a very successful campaign for Julia. Two-time United States Champion, has basically been involved in that title since its inception. Out of the 5 reigns that have been with that gold, 40% have been with this woman right here. The beautiful madness. She looks ready to go and defend that title once more here tonight. Fort Worth, get ready. It's almost time for our main event. Women's United States Championship on the line in just a few moments. Here's what it's all about right here, the Star Spangled Prize. Let's head down to the ring for championship introductions.
Introducing the challenger from Prior Lake, Minnesota, Tiffany Stratton. And her opponent from Tokyo, Japan, the WWE Women's United States Champion, Julia.
Well, this one does feel like a pretty big fight. Julia Tiffany Stratton, main event SmackDown after WrestleMania. Women's United States Championship on the line. We've already seen one title change hands here tonight. Will Tiffany Stratton make it 2 for 2? Or will Julia once more retain that title? We're about to find out as we're underway here in the main event. It's a pretty split crowd. There's some Tiffany fans. There's also a lot of Julia chants going on. Despite Julia's behavior, she's got some respect with the WWE Universe. You cannot underestimate and you cannot put down her talent in the ring, as there's a nice job landing on her feet right there off the German suplex attempt. But Tiffany Stratton now firing back with the first couple of strikes. A nice STO plants down Julia. On one hand, you have the champion, a two-time United States champion, who's currently wailing down left hands on Tiffany Stratton. Former NXT Women's Champion in her own right, ever since the Beautiful Madness has made her way to WWE. It's been quite the stage for her. And right now, here she is perched up on the top rope, Stratton to her feet, and meets a nice flying elbow from the champion. Is now with a forearm across the face again, goes for the cover, gets 2 before Tiffany's able to kick out. Julia's found a lot of success in the WWE. She's turned back all of her challengers for the title. But she hasn't faced Tiffany Stratton yet, who hits a nice job in the corner off that handspring splash. And now a nice double drop kick for good measure. Tiffany Stratton's also found her fair share of success in the WWE. A Miss Money in the Bank winner, a former WWE Women's Champion who just a year ago in WrestleMania 41 was defending that championship and successfully retaining against Charlotte Flair. Held onside title for a majority of last year, came back at the Royal Rumble after losing it last fall. Now trying to get some more gold around her waist. Right now finds herself on the opposite end of the Beautiful Madness, but a nice elbow out of the corner is Tiffany. And rakes her down by the hair, splashes Julia down in the center of the ring. Cover now attempt here, and only gets a 1 count on the champion. Now has her back to her feet, up on the shoulders in a fireman's carry. A nice rolling through senton in the center of the ring. Tiffany in firm control. Julia could be dazed a little bit. You can see Kiana James looking on. We'll see if she gets involved in this championship contest. Julia bounces back out of the corner. It's a nice drop kick and takes down the challenger. Again, just on top, just wailing down on Stratton. Stratton beat Jordan Grace last week to gain this opportunity at the Women's United States Championship. It's been a title she's been after for quite some time, and now finally gets her opportunity here tonight. It rolls through here, trying a little bit of a pin to get Julia here, and almost gets her shoulders down. That was a quick 2 count on the schoolboy. And a kendo stick has been introduced into the ring, and this is also not a no disqualification match, as Kiana almost gets taken out by that kendo stick. But back in the ring, here's Tiffany Stratton here with the corkscrew spin on Julia. New champion could be incoming here. The Beautiful Madness is down, but she shoots that left shoulder up just in the nick of time. And Tiffany Stratton could be moments away from closing in on the championship, but Julia gets out of the way. Miss standing moonsault there, but Tiffany Stratton another strike. Hoists Julia up and just throws her across the ring. Showing off that power game, and now back to the second rope. Stratton wants Julia back to her feet. Kicker to get some space. Shoots across the ring, but Julia sidesteps. Stratton mistimed the space needed, but now, again, counters Julia. Goes for elbow, but again, the champion dodges. Couple of back and forth counters here. Now Julia with the double underhooks into a nice butterfly suplex into the pinning combination to try to retain the championship right here, but cannot. Tiffany kicks out quickly. And a nice elbow there by Julia. Champion Julia, two-time Women's United States champion. It's a very young title. Julia already making her stamp for a lot of the records of that championship. Record tying 2 reigns, has the most combined days as champion, and now could be thinking Northern Lights bomb. Plants down Stratton. Thought she was going for it, but instead she wants to set her up for that flying elbow drop off the top rope. Stratton in a lot of trouble here. Julia trying to notch another name to a successful title defense, but Stratton kicks out at 2. Now measuring Stratton. This could be time. Now she could be thinking Northern Lights bomb. There's the kick to the midsection. Stratton hoisted up and gets planted down with the Northern Lights bomb. A move that's put away countless individuals for that championship here. Gets 1, gets 2, and Stratton shoots the right shoulder up. She kicks out of the Northern Lights bomb, and Julia can't believe it. Stratton stays alive, and this championship match will continue on as the referee in the corner distracted. Julia, though, taking the opportunity, maybe just showing some frustration, trying to get some of that confidence back, talking trash to the WWE Universe. She hit Stratton with her best shot, but it wasn't enough. I don't think Tiffany has fully recovered from that Northern Lights bomb. I think that shoulder kick out might have been instinct. She crumples to the mat. Right now it's all the champion. Maybe just could be looking for one more move, but Stratton counters. Nice strike, takes out the legs of Julia. And now Tiffany could be finding the opening she needs. Shoots Julia into the far corner. Flips her around and just dragging on the face of Julia. Ref maybe with a little bit, letting some things slide. It is a championship match. You hate to see a disqualification. There's a nice neck breaker, takes down the champion. Goes for a cover attempt, just trying to continue the pressure, but Julia is able to kick out in time. And this match continues. What a main event it's been. What a SmackDown it's been. As there's a beautiful kick in between the eyes. Rocks the champion. We've seen new WWE Tag Team Champions. We've seen the update on Cody Rhodes. And we could be closing on a new United States Champion. Tiffany up to the top rope. And goes for the Swanton. Connects. Julia in a lot of trouble. That Swanton hit right on the button. And now Tiffany in firm control drags her across the ring into the far turnbuckle. And this could be the moment. A power slam down. Tiffany goes to the corner. Is she thinking it? She is. Prettiest moonsault ever connects. The PME. Stratton into the cover. Gets 2. And that'll do it. Tiffany Stratton is your new Women's United States Champion off of the prettiest moonsault ever. What a main event it was. Both women throwing their absolute best for the gold, showing what it's all about. Julia connected with the Northern Lights bomb early. You saw that flying elbow drop. Here it was, the Northern Lights bomb, but Stratton battled back, kicked out of the champion's best shot, stayed alive in the contest, and was able to hit that prettiest moonsault ever off of that beautiful Swanton bomb. And Stratton could call herself. Here it is again. PME off of the top rope. Puts the champion down for 1, 2, 3. And Stratton can call herself the Women's United States Champion.
Here is your winner, and the new WWE Tiffany Stratton.
What a way to kick off SmackDown here tonight, as Tiffany Stratton gets to celebrate her championship win. But that's all we have time for you guys here tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you guys so much for all the support. If you did, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys on Monday for Monday Night Raw. You'll have a great night.